Right now, the military escalation in the Middle East has hit a sudden, unexpected pause. The United States has temporarily halted airstrikes in the region for a 5-day window. This ceasefire has a highly specific carve-out. It halts targeted attacks on Iran's energy infrastructure. That oil and gas network is the absolute economic lifeblood of the country, generating the revenue required to keep the state functioning. But during this brief window of quiet, U.S. President Donald Trump went on national television and made an explosive claim. He stated that over the previous 2 days, the U.S. and Iran had engaged in very, very strong talks. According to Trump, these back-channel meetings were highly productive. He told reporters that the two sides had reached major points of agreement, and if Tehran follows through, it will permanently end the conflict. Within hours of the broadcast, Iran's foreign ministry issued an official statement insisting that no such discussions had taken place. They dismissed the American report as entirely false. We are watching two heavily armed adversaries who hold the immediate power to end a regional war, yet they cannot even agree on the basic physical reality of whether they are sitting at the same negotiating table. When confronted with the Iranian state media's absolute denial, Trump didn't back down. He dismissed the reports entirely, claiming his team had literally met with their Iranian counterparts the previous night. He even provided specific names to back up the timeline. The U.S. delegation is allegedly led by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, a former senior advisor with deep ties to prior Middle East diplomatic agreements. On the other side of the table, leaked intelligence reports suggest the Iranian side is being directed by Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf. He is the current Speaker of Iran's parliament and a highly influential political figure within Tehran's power structure. Washington is offering dates, times, and a detailed roster of attendees. In response, Tehran maintains an absolute public blackout, refusing to acknowledge a single detail of the American narrative. When one side leaks hyper-specific diplomatic schedules and the other issues wall-to-wall denials, it points to one of two scenarios. Either the Iranian leadership desperately needs to save face domestically while negotiating, or the United States is running a massive, high-stakes bluff. To understand why Tehran might hide these talks, look at the 3 pillars of Washington's agenda. First is the complete neutralization of Iran's nuclear program. The mandate, 0 pathways to a nuclear weapon, abandoning their highest leverage strategic asset. This objective targets the sprawling, multi-billion-dollar physical infrastructure that Iranian scientists have spent decades constructing. The second pillar requires a massive scale-back of Iran's regional ballistic missile programs, the exact weapon systems currently posing a direct threat to U.S. allies and military bases in the region. Finally, Trump made a highly unorthodox public claim about the mechanics of a potential deal. He stated that if an agreement is reached, the U.S. military would simply step in and confiscate Iran's enriched uranium themselves. These demands represent a maximum pressure campaign. If the Iranian government makes concessions, acknowledging those talks publicly could trigger severe domestic political backlash. While kinetic military action remains on hold, the conflict has shifted into an information vacuum. Both sides are weaponizing these competing narratives to control the international response. Trump added another layer of complexity by hinting that the U.S. is dealing directly with the most respected leader in the country. This implies a back-channel line straight to the highest remaining authority in the Iranian government. Regardless of which state narrative is true, the physical reality on the ground is identical. The mere rumor of these phantom negotiations has brought a temporary halt to devastating airstrikes. Trump claims that Iran desperately wants a deal to save its economy. However, securing a stable diplomatic agreement is incredibly difficult when one side is negotiating under the immediate threat of targeted infrastructure bombing. Nuclear policy is only one obstacle to regional stability. The primary barrier is a total breakdown in shared reality. Until Washington and Tehran can agree they are